UFC 308. Ooh, that's a bad 8. Oh. 8. UFC 308. Let's fuck shit up. It's Ilya Topuria versus Max Holloway. We've all been twiddling our thumbs, waiting for this one on the sidelines. Hi, hello, what are they gonna give us? Not too late to get a couple of bets in. Got a whole day to make decisions. If you want to throw some money on it, some spiritual points. For me, it's the spiritual points. Making our spiritual bets today. Not going to go over every single prelim because there's a lot of them that I don't know anything about, and so it would basically be like flipping a coin. Let's start ourselves off with Farid Basharat versus Victor Hugo. This is going to be pretty amazing. Basharat, he's like on a bit of a tear right now. Definitely will be after the submission, but will it work? We don't know. Victor Hugo is pretty good at submissions himself. They're both super dope. I just think that Farid Basharat, he's got this thing. You know, he's undefeated, which is kind of a pro and a con, but he's got this thing. And based on this thing, that's going to be our first pick. Next prelim that I want to highlight, hi, hello, Chris Barnett. Chris Barnett, if you haven't heard of him, he's an amazing human being. He's such a cerebral fighter, a really interesting guy. He's like really short for a heavyweight. What is he, like 5'9"? That's pretty insane to be 5'9". Most of those guys are 6 foot and above, so he's always like this. But it doesn't matter. He'll still knock you out with a wheel kick. It's pretty impressive. He's got a wild style, but the thing is that Kennedy, I'm not going to say his last name correctly. Nisek Hukwu. Ooh, okay. Kennedy, American Savage, he's got a pretty wild style as well. However, I've got a feeling it's going to go in Chris Barnett's favor. Am I biased? Yes. But does that matter? No, because I'm just a human being. Next prelim to highlight, soon to be Hall of Famer, if not Hall of Famer already, Rafael Dos Anjos. Has he made it to the Hall of Fame? Future, at least. Jeff Neal, you know, he has his moments. Okay, he has his moments. He did lose to Ian Gary recently. He's been a little bit hit or miss as of late. Rafael Dos Anjos has also been a little hit or miss as of late, but he's got a little bit more experience. He'll be looking for the submission if you ask me. And I think because of his experience, his UFC experience is a little bit more than Jeff. I just feel like he's a little bit more consistent than Jeff. We're going to go with Rafael Dos Anjos, probably make it for the decision. Okay, I don't know these guys, but just a brief overview. This is going to be some firecrackers right here. We got Ibo Aslan. He's giving me big murder vibes. I mean that as a compliment. Finished all 13 of his wins. Pretty crazy. His only loss is via submission, so at least he knows what losing feels like. I feel like I always like somebody, I feel more comfortable picking someone who isn't undefeated, because that's kind of a weakness. So that's why we're going to go for Ibo Aslan as opposed to Rafael Chiquera, but he is pretty scary as well. He's making his UFC debut undefeated. Both of these guys definitely are going for the murder, so I think it's going to be a finish at some point. Now we can talk about the main card. The main slice of cake. Dreams do come true. Main card, UFC 308, dreams do come true. And they come true right away. First fight, I'm already locked in. We got Shara Bullet. Hell yeah, this guy's quirky, he's fun, he's interesting, he's undefeated. Everybody's on the hype train right now. He's got the TKO power, he's more of a striker. I don't really think he's going to want to go down low wrestling. And he's fighting with the spirit of Michael Bisping, all right? They got the I in common, and he says he loves Michael Bisping, and that's his motivation, and I love that. Armin Petrosian, he's a hottie, he's a hot one. He's pretty chill, he's also got the TKO power. They were former training partners at one point, so they know each other's style a little bit, so I think it's going to feel that way when we watch the fight. It's going to be, looks like two people who know each other's style, so I feel like it's going to go to decision, but I'm going to go with Shara Bullet because, yes, I am on the hype train. Next fight, another big set of heavy hands. We got Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic. Alexander Rakic, aka Alexander Wreck-Shit. Boom boom. You know, like Wreck-It Ralph? Yes. They're both baddies. Rakic was on a crazy fight win streak, but then he got a really bad injury to his knee. And then he had a TKO loss right after that. So he's been Uri'd and he's been yawned. Yeah. But Magomed Ankalaev, on the other hand, only lost one time. Khan's kind of pending. He's just a little too perfect, too good to be true, but that's exactly why we're going to pick him for the win. All right, this could be one of the best fights of the night because we got two absolute gamers. We got Lerone Murphy calling himself the Iceman, that's a little interesting. Does he know who Chuck Liddell is? That's okay. A little bit of a karmic point strike. Maybe he doesn't know. Well, that'd be actually another card. Anyway, he's been on a tear. He's also seen some shit. His life has, not been perfect. And I think that always plays to a fighter's favor when they know real life, because you can deal with that anxiety. But he's going against Dan 50K Ige. That's my man. Okay? I would rather die than bet against Dan Ige. So it's that simple. I don't care who he's facing. When he fought against Diego Lopez on 4 hours notice, has it ever been done? He may have lost, but it was a great fight. That was a great fight. And so we're going with Dan 50K Ige. Never been finished. 18 fights in the UFC. Willing to stand on business. Ige, 50K. He's going to get the decision win. Factual. Okay. I might be a little biased. Maybe you can tell from my shirt. I am a big fan of Robert Whittaker, as many of us are. If you're not a fan of Robert Whittaker, who are you? Do you even like the sport? That is my question to you right now. A lot of us love Khamzat Chimaev as well, but he's a little sketchy. He's been a little sketchy. He's been very unreliable. He might be a scary human being. He might be able to hit you with a submission, hit you with a knockout, but where has he been? Okay? Getting sick, not making weight. For all I know, Saturday, okay, don't even want to say it actually. Let's not say it. The fight's going to happen. Fight's going to happen. And if it does happen, it will happen. Robert Whittaker is going to take it all the way to decision, because you know what? Khamzat Chimaev has never been in 5 rounds before. He only knows 3 rounds. And even in 3 rounds, he's getting tired by the end. Not looking good. Not looking good. I'm actually quite comfortable with this one. This might be the most comfortable I am picking anybody on this whole list. Am I biased? Do you see my t-shirt? Am I biased? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But doing the math, it also adds up. Robert freaking Whittaker. He's grounded in reality, usually. Okay. He knows when he doesn't know things. I like that about him. Family guy. He knows what he's fighting for. Love that. But he's also a beast. Future Hall of Famer. He might be a little bit caught in the manosphere, but we'll let that go. Because he's been doing really well lately. And we love him. He's an absolute classic. And he's going to get the decision win. I'm sorry, Khamzat. Khamzat's been looking very studious lately. I do like the new look. I like the glasses. I like that energy. Okay, a little less cuckoo, delulu crazy. Still don't think it's going to be enough. And finally, the fight that is going to have everybody biting their nails off of their fingers. It's going to be wild. It's going to be fireworks. If it's not fireworks, I don't know who I am anymore. This is the fight that people have been saying, if you're not into mixed martial arts or someone you know is not into MMA, show them this. Bring them along. Have them watch this, because it's guaranteed to be an absolute masterpiece. Ilia Topuria has been on, we've been saying on a tear. That definitely applies to this guy right here. On an absolute tear, still undefeated, doing really, really well. He's absolutely ferocious. He's got that Greco-Roman wrestling, and he's a boxing king. I know everybody's well versed in the UFC. If most people who are pursuing MMA, they got all the MMA skills, but he shines in both of those categories. It's amazing. But he's also a bit of a little bitch. That's not great. Being a little bitch doesn't really help you mentally. But he's been acting a little delulu, and I feel like that's something to definitely pay attention to, make note of. Max Holloway, Max Blessed, the Blessed Express, on the other hand, fearless, never been knocked down. He really wears you out. I think he's blessed. Yes, I do agree. He's also going to be bigger. I think that's going to play in his favor for the boxing style. I mean, he's used to being the taller fighter, though. He's got a really unique boxing style as well, and I think it's just going to be amazing. This one obviously could go either way. I think most people are on the side of Topuria, but I feel like simply because my soul will not allow me to not bet on Max Holloway, I can't do that and then exist another day. But I think beyond that, the Delulu aspect actually is going to come into play. The desperation, being Delulu as opposed to being grounded in reality, which Max Holloway is. Which is why we're going with Max Holloway, and I think he's going to grind it out to a decision. I don't think anybody's going to get knocked down. I do not think Ilia Topuria is going to knock Max Holloway out. He's not going to do it. It's going to be a great fight. I think if Ilia does win, I think it would be by decision, but I think Max is going to eke it out, and he's going to get a couple more rounds in there. But it'll be definitely super competitive. Summary of our pick list. We have for the prelims, Aslan TKO, because that guy's looking to commit some real murder. We got RDA for decision over Jeff Neal. That's going to be sick. Chris Barnett, I think, is going to get the TKO because he is just wilding out there. Basharat going for the decision. Keep that streak alive. On to the main card. For the first fight on the main card, we're going for the Shara Bullet. Shara Bullet by decision for the first fight. Then we're going to go with Ankalaev for decision for the next one. Then we're going to go Ige decision for the next one. And then Whitaker decision. And then Holloway decision. Yes, a night of decisions. Or should I say, if you're living in the United States, an afternoon of decisions. I think it will be. Special thanks to our sources, Shoutout, MMA Junkie, One-on-One MMA, shout out Laura Senko, shout out Dean Thomas. I guess we can shout out Michael Bisping too. We've mentioned his name 3 times already. And a quick shout out to our incredible artists who I use for the main card. Just love that. Love throwing in some people's original works. You can actually freaking buy this Max Holloway piece if you go to this website that we have here, and you can check out the person who made the Ilya Toporia's comic. Check them out on Instagram. They do commissions if you want your favorite fighter to be painted. Dreams do come true. UFC 308, my dreams will be coming true. Why will they be coming true? Because I shouldn't even have to explain this to you. It's been explained a million times before.